We're back in Ephesians. And today we're going to look at one verse. Ephesians 5, verse 21. In the New Living Translation, it says this: "And further, submit to one another out of reverence for Christ." We've also been looking at the Message translation. And verse 21 in the Message says, "Out of respect for Christ, be courteously reverent to one another." Both will later go on to use the word submit for husbands and wives, but we'll come to that later. I wonder, what comes into your mind when you think of the word reverence? I remember doing a placement at Poynton Baptist Church when I was at college, and they were a church that was growing. There were lots of families there, lots of young people, and it had grown so much that they were having to go to 2 services. The first service was going to be more traditional. It was earlier, and the later service would very definitely be a family service that everyone could attend. And I remember speaking to one of the older ladies in the church in a coffee lounge and asking her about the service. She said, "Oh, I will definitely be going to the earlier service. It's not that I don't want the families, and I'm so pleased that there are young people in our church, but I miss the reverence." Take a look at these pictures. The definition of reverence that I found is this. It says it comes from Middle English, from Old French, from Latin. And it says the meaning is deep respect for someone or something. A gesture indicative of deep respect, a bow or curtsy. Can also be a title or form of address to a member of the clergy, especially a priest in Ireland. His Reverence, your reverence. As we are going to come to look at relationships, husbands and wives, I think it's important to set it in the context of reverence for Christ. Recognizing that if he were to appear here, right now, to begin with, at the very least, I would be awestruck. I would be silent. You know, later, maybe, because Jesus is so good at putting people at their ease, at knowing exactly what it is at the right moment, I'm sure we would, I don't know, share a cup of tea. we would talk, and I would very definitely listen. So before we come to the passage about wives submitting to their husbands, I want to take a moment of reverence, of quiet, for us to think about what that means in relation to Jesus. Because only then will we understand what comes next. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.